What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Movie Talks, and podcast you need for all your movie news, movie reviews, and more. We are on episode 82. Guess what, everybody? It is finally the time Lawson has watched The Boy and the Heron.
Oh my God, it happened.
It's a 3,000 years longing moment. So
Yeah,
that took a long time as well. But
yep,
we're
sure
here.
did.
We're here. So that's all that matters. Then we've got The Gentleman, which is Guy Ritchie's newest outing, which is a
Yeah, TV
Netflix
series.
series, which we'll get into. And then we've got the newest Lindsay Lohan outing on the screen. It is
Yep,
Irish Wish, which
which is I found out created by the same woman who did this is her second movie, and her first movie was that shitty fucking Christmas one with Lindsay Lohan as well.
okay. You can tell.
Uh Falling for Christmas.
You can tell. You can
Yep,
tell.
you
Yep.
sure can. It is literally a struggle to think of which one is better.
It's virtually the same.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, but we've got the movie news that everyone is here for because this is where you get your movie news. Beetlejuice. The newest trailer is out now. Michael Keaton is letting loose in Tim Burton's sequel. I've seen the trailer, and the trailer is just lots of quick flashes and quick cuts to Michael Keaton saying, let's let loose or something or other right at the end in
Yeah.
Beetlejuice. Like it's the trailer looks nice, but it doesn't give you anything.
No, it's more of a teaser
Yeah,
than a trailer, really, but
they
yeah,
called
I
it
don't really
a
know.
trailer. Oh, but
Yeah, which I found weird because it doesn't actually like there's no plot revealed or anything
no,
really.
it's just here you go.
Which normally what trailers are, but
Yeah.
yeah, look, I'm not that connected to the original, so I don't really care about this, but I know some people who are fucking excited. I have some students that like keep asking me like, "Oh, I've seen the new trailer," and I've like just fucking over the moon about it. So
Mm,
hey,
mm,
look, if you're a fan and you're excited, good. I'm glad. Enjoy what
yeah.
you enjoy, but I don't
Look,
really care.
I liked Beetlejuice, but not a fanatic.
No,
So
God, no.
no. Also, there is a Sims movie. Looks like it's coming, which
Yep.
is going
Margot
to
Robbie.
Margot Robbie.
Hmm.
Which I don't know what they're going to do with The Sims. Is it just going to be people like going into a house, dying, and them taking possessions?
Yeah.
Like,
The house lighting on fire. And I don't know.
yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't know what the Sims plot would be.
Look, I didn't know what they were going to do for Barbie, but they did well there. So
Yeah, I suppose.
yeah,
But like at least Barbie has like the starting point of like there's a theme. Like,
true.
Barbie, there's something to build off. Sims is just meant to be real life. So like you could do anything, literally. I also want
Yeah,
them to speak Simlish and have subtitles, but they won't.
you don't reckon?
No, they'll be speaking English.
Okay,
Subtitles aren't approachable. It'll hurt their sales.
true. Uh, oh well.
But yeah, it'll be in English. It'll have a bunch of references to the game somehow. Maybe they'll have the little things floating above their heads. They'll probably have a couple jokes where like someone will walk into a room and then they'll be like, "What was I doing in here?" And they'll raise their arms and go, and walk out, just like the Sims do. There'll be
True,
a bunch of little references here and there, but I don't know how they're going to build a plot off of the Sims.
true. Well, another franchise is Alien. There is a new sequel coming. It's called
Oh, really?
Romulus. So it is unleashing the
Oh,
facehuggers in glory.
okay.
The facehuggers freaked me out, hey, when they jumped on them and like laid eggs inside you.
Yeah, they're pretty
Ooh,
cool.
they're cool.
I didn't watch any of the reboot. The
No,
All the ones came out in mid 2000s.
don't
I
know.
think what they're called now.
But look, I liked Alien. I liked them all. I watched them.
Prometheus.
Yeah, I watched it. It was okay. Wasn't
Sure.
anything exciting. But yeah,
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 I've seen Alien and Aliens. I'm not sure I've seen Alien 3. Then I didn't watch any of the reboot series, Prometheus and the others.
no. Oh well.
Uh,
Yeah,
Resurrection. Yeah, right. Jesus, there's a
yeah,
bunch of
there's a
movies I didn't
few.
know existed.
There's a few. Another franchise
Romulus.
that is
Okay.
coming out is the Fall Guys trailer has Ryan Gosling beating up people. So
Yep.
it looks
They're making a
interesting.
Fall Guys movie and they're making an Among Us movie.
Hmm.
And I don't understand how they're doing either of those because none of them have any plot. Like Among Us, I guess maybe, but I don't know how they're making an entire feature length movie of it. Like, I surely maybe a 20-minute episode worth of content in Among Us, but I don't understand how there's an hour and a half worth of content.
Oh, I don't know. They'll stretch it
Same
out
with
somehow.
what the fuck is Fall Guys gonna be? Like,
I don't know.
say Ryan Reynolds is it? Yeah, right. I didn't know that.
They're probably just here's an end goal. You got to go over all these obstacles to get it. They'll just change it
What?
to something. But who knows? Another big one is the Mad Max saga trailer is out for Furiosa. So the warrior's driving for her life.
Hold on. You sure it mean the Fall Guy,
Yeah, the Fall Guy.
not Fall Guys?
No, the
No, that's
Fall Guy.
different.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So
I thought you meant Fall Guys, the fucking
no,
little characters jumping around.
no,
No, the
no.
Fall Guy
Yeah.
is a Ryan Gosling movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm,
very different.
mm. Similar
He's a
words.
stuntman. Well, yeah, sorry. My brain heard Fall Guys and I went to like the Among Us movie.
Uh,
Righto, righto. No, it's different. He's a
yeah.
stuntman doing some shit. All right.
Yep.
That's very different to fucking Fall Guys.
Yeah.
That's fine. Sorry, go on.
Mad Max with Furiosa new trailer
Yep.
sees Anya Taylor-Joy's warrior driving for her life.
Yep.
Yep. So
Look, surprise me. I'm happy to be proven wrong. Like, she doesn't strike me as a badass lead role, kicking ass out in the wastelands, but prove me wrong, Anya Taylor-Joy. I don't dislike her. I think she has done some pretty good stuff, but I don't think she suits the role
yeah,
from
we'll
my
see.
thing. Like I said the other day as well, if they do any fucking CG, it's going to totally rip away from how good Fury Road was. So
Yep.
I don't know. I am apprehensive because Fury Road is fucking amazing.
Yep. Well, another very CGI heavy is Rebel Moon Part 2. The trailer promises all-out war in Zack Snyder's sci-fi sequel. God, I hope it's better than the first one. It's the
I
first
don't know.
one.
I don't doubt it. I really doubt it. Zack Snyder is the modern M Night.
Mm, so
Just made some decent stuff and then just garbage.
yeah, so we'll see. And then we've got the Teen Titans live action movie is planned.
All right. Okay.
So,
Didn't know that.
mm. I
Sweet.
mean, there is a TV series which for some
Yeah.
reason didn't get like heap of publicity and no one ever really spoke about it. But I've seen a couple episodes and it was all right. Titans from memory, that's what it was called.
Okay. No, I didn't know that. Live
Mm.
action.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Live action
Uh,
movie confirmed. Okay. Teen Titans Alpha.
uh, TV show. It's called Titans. Came out in 2018. Like it
Sure.
was it was
Teen Titans Alpha is not what I'm thinking. Not what you're talking about.
no
That is like
Titan
some.
Titans is on Netflix.
Yeah, sorry. The movie you're talking about, Teen Titans
Yeah.
live action. I typed in Teen Titans live action movie and something called Teen Titans Alpha came up,
Uh,
and it is some garbage homemade movie
uh, yeah. But no, there is a actual live action Teen Titans TV show which
series.
has
Yep.
46 episodes.
Yeah, right. I had no
Mm,
idea.
mm. It was
I love Teen Titans.
HBO HBO Max
Sure. So be
produced it. It's on Netflix.
on Netflix. All right. I'm
Mm,
surprised it's not on Binge then if it's HBO.
yeah. No. It was
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. I
Seen a
actually
few.
might give that a shot because Teen Titans is fucking great. Teen Titans Go, I don't really enjoy. Became like a child's program. Teen
Yep.
Titans was pretty fucking adult, like the original Teen Titans.
Yeah. So
All right, cool.
here we go.
Yep.
All right, that is all the movie news. Oh, there is one bit more movie news. I think Sydney Sweeney wants to make a movie with Margot Robbie. I'm all for it.
Of course she does.
Yep, I'm keen.
Yep. Sure. Look, Sydney Sweeney is yet to impress me. So
I'm impressed.
you're impressed is looking at her. That's all you need. I
Funny.
don't nah. Nah. Everything she's been in so far, or everything I've seen her in, has been borderline garbage.
Have you seen Euphoria? Euphoria,
No,
whatever it's
I
called?
haven't. I haven't.
No.
I've been told many times to watch it, but I never have.
Yeah. I've seen the first episode and
Sure.
I was like, "Oh, I think I'm a little bit past it because it's the high school dramas and stuff. I was like,
Right.
you
Well,
know,
I've only ever seen her in Madam Web and in
oh,
anyone but you.
Madam
Uh,
Web doesn't count. She
I
was
mean, I haven't seen her in much, so it's got to count.
she may as well not have been there for Madam Web.
No, no, she had no fucking weight in the movie.
No, no one had
She
any
was.
weight in the movie. It was just garbage.
But you want to watch Immaculate
Yeah, I do.
in the next couple of weeks, so
Yeah,
okay.
time to impress you.
You reckon?
Yep, yep. Let's get into Boy and the Heron.
Let's do it. Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking up like random shit about her now and trying to find movies that she's been in that I actually would enjoy, but
All right.
it's just she's hired for her face, and that's not enough. Like everything she's in, she does that bullshit
Yeah,
where she has no weight or her roles are all stupid. Like directors that hire people for their looks normally aren't good directors. You know what I mean?
all right, all right. Bit critical, but sure.
Yeah. Look, no, thank you.
All right, all right. All right, the boy and the heron. In the wake of his mother's death and his father's remarriage, a headstrong boy named Mihito. I feel like that's a drink.
It is a drink. Mojito
Mm,
is a drink.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like mojito.
Mm. Ventured into a dreamlike world shared by both the living and the dead. So, I watched this quite a while ago when it first came
Good.
out. Lawson's watched it last night.
Yep.
Yep. So Lawson's got a bit more of
Did you
a fresh take on it. Mm.
yeah, potentially. Did you re-watch or did you look
No,
anything up or anything or no?
no, no, no.
Did you like even sort of like look up a review or anything to remind yourself of the story or
I
no?
remember the story.
Okay.
Yep. So overall, I remember what's his name? Mizaki. This
Yep,
is he's directed and he wrote it. This symbolism of
of
this
course.
story is about him not being able to find someone to take over his like
Mm,
legacy. And
yep.
this is what it's all about. It's like the journey of him trying to find someone to
Yeah.
take over his like life work, which is like Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, the character of Maito is also him as well as the great uncle who is like the guy in the afterlife.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is very self-reflective of Miyazaki,
Yeah.
which like I think I'll say straight away, I like Studio Ghibli. Ghibli, I've heard it pronounced multiple ways. I'm not like super attached to the studio. I like the movies, but there's none that I think have like changed my life. Where some people who are into it are like, you know, super dedicated and fucking obsess over it. I think this is a better movie for those people. Like I'll get to the review later, I suppose, and actually talk about numbers and that. But I liked this, but I think I would have loved it if I had loved all his movies. Like I would have got more out of it because supposedly there's heaps of references to older movies and there's
Hmm.
heaps of like Easter eggs and things you would have recognized, and it really is like the perfect wrap up for the studio. But being a fan but not a stan, like it's yeah, I don't know. We'll get to that more later, but I just want to say straight away that I'm probably not who this is directly made for, I think.
Oh, I would say I'm in the same boat as well. Like
Yeah.
I like his movies. I've seen a couple of them more than once, which is rare. Like Spirited
Yep.
Away, Howl's Moving Castle, My Neighbor
Uh,
Totoro. I've seen quite a few times because at uni they're like, my neighbor Totoro is one we're looking at. and
Oh, really? Yeah, right.
yeah.
Interesting.
So screen studies, we watched it a couple of times.
Sure.
That was like,
Have your kids seen any of the besides? I mean, your son has watched this one,
yeah.
but have your kids seen any others?
We tried my neighbor's Totoro, but they were a bit younger, so they were like to the point where it's a slower start. I think Studio Ghibli is definitely for an older audience because it is slower, slower pace, less action, things moving,
Yeah.
symbolism. So when I
I was going to
tried,
ask as well if your son liked this as well. Hey.
yeah, so we tried Totoro, but that was like like 3 or 4 years ago, and
Right.
I was into it. They weren't. It was
Yep.
just a little bit slow. My son enjoyed this one, but when we watched the trailer, we were expecting a little bit more of an action based
Yeah.
film because like
Yeah.
the trailer shows it as like a big adventure, a bit more of an action where there wasn't that much action besides the parakeets or the parrots or whatever the
Yeah,
birds
like
are.
the bombing at the beginning, I guess, as well, a little bit,
A little bit, but
but there wasn't much there. Yeah, it's not what I expected it to be either.
hmm,
Like, like you said, the trailer sort of depicted a different, almost a different genre for this film.
yeah.
But
So
yeah,
we came into it being like, all right, this is going to be a bit more of an action. Like, there is a more action Ghibli film, isn't there?
Mononoke.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's my favorite.
yeah. Like that's what I was expecting,
Yeah.
rather than the symbolism and the
Mm.
the darker sort of tone of this film.
Yeah, it was. And I think like you know, Miyazaki is the king of subtle. Like all of his stories, there's he's very subtle with his theming and, the background story, I guess, like the what you have to decipher. And I think this is like even more subtle than anything else. Like I had to really, you know, think about what the hell I meant to get out of these characters and, what represents what and whatever. Whereas I think with the rest, I don't need to think as hard. Like, most of it comes, I'm not super intelligent guy, but I think a lot of the time when it comes to films like that, it comes pretty naturally to me. I can figure stuff out pretty quickly. Whereas this, I had to really sit and decipher and think about, like, oh, okay, that makes that. And I looked some stuff up and yeah,
I had to do that with
it's
Spirited
very
Away.
subtle.
So like
Yep.
the nobody or whatever it was, I had to look up the actual full meaning behind the nobody, and then the this one, yeah, I didn't have to
Yeah.
look at anything up about it, but I was like, whoa, this is pretty heavy, and a lot of that
Yeah.
was just like my son liked watching it, the things moving on the screen, and wasn't getting like the full
No,
picture of
I
it,
guess
but
not. Yeah, definitely, definitely. That's why I was wondering if you actually still enjoy it, but there's probably enough, I guess, to
there's
because
an
visually to get to that straight away, it is fucking beautiful. It is such a gorgeous movie,
and the
and the way
sound and the
like
music, everything is
oh my god, music
top
is so
notch.
good. Yeah, yeah. Like I heard someone say this is a masterpiece, and like I think again, if you're a fan of the studio and you're gonna get more out of this that way, then it becomes a masterpiece. But yeah, visually, music, the sound design, yeah, the characters, obviously. Like I like that Miyazaki and a part of this as well is talking about anime in general. But I like that his art doesn't need to be high detailed to be high quality. Like we can see that his characters initially, like even if you compare it to like Spirited Away, like the old woman in Spirited Away, the one with the massive head, she's so much more high detail than the old women in this show. Like in this movie, the even just the amount of wrinkles, for example, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, but I think that's like a really positive thing. Like you don't need to have more lines to mean more quality. You know what I mean?
yep.
Yeah, and it's like how initially the colors are all drab, and when the boy is going to his new home and meeting his new stepmother and whatever else, the color palette's really quite dull, but then by the time he's on his wild adventures and he's gone to like the well, more or less the spirit realm, like the whole scenes with the parakeets and stuff were yeah, just beautiful. The color palette and stuff, like it's so nice.
I haven't thought I really like the bird, the intro of the heron.
The heron, yeah,
Yeah. And like the heron's even like character arc. I was like,
yeah,
I really like the heron and
yeah,
it
the Guy
like
Heron,
and the like it developing, it comes in, it's like quite dark and ominous, like as it
yeah,
starts, but like being pulled into this different world and then
yep,
going on the adventure to like save or like find yourself and developing the world. Like there's
yep.
so much in there that you're like, whoa, this is pretty heavy. It's not a movie
It
you can
is
just like pick up and put on in the background. You got to sit there and like
definitely,
delve into it massively.
yeah. Which makes me wish I watched it before last night. Like I watched it and I went to bed and then I woke up and now we're recording. Like I haven't
Mm.
really had time to sit with it. I think I'm gonna like it more as time goes on.
Yeah,
I also want to mention I watched the Japanese sub, but I
yeah,
really want to watch the dub because I've heard it's very good.
yeah. I watched the dub. We went to the cinema.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I can't remember the voice actors because we saw it.
I know Rob Pattinson is the Heron.
Yeah, um, and English. But yeah, like it was sick. So Robert Patterson is the Heron. Uh, we got Lucia Padavons Valafons is Mojito.
Luca Padovan,
Yeah, and then Florence
Florence Pugh,
Pugh,
who was in June Part Two. She was the
Christian
princess.
Christian Bale.
Yep,
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
David
He comes in and
Batista's
he
in there.
goes, "I'm Soichi."
Mm.
Oh,
David Batista.
Batista was the
Yeah,
Parakeet King. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I love the King. I thought he was like for a bird. I can't imagine a bird being like intimidating, but like
Yeah,
the Parakeet King was super cool. Like just strolling in, causing
yep.
havoc. Yeah, I thought he was sick. William Defoe's in there too.
Willem Dafoe. Yeah, he's the Pelican.
Mm,
Who that was a pretty harsh scene, especially with like this like just prior to that, where all the pelicans are eating the lost souls, the maki whatever they're called,
yeah.
the waka what are they called? Waka Waka? I forget. It's not Waka Waka, but I already forgotten.
Yeah, like eating the souls. Like it's pretty dark, like a lot of the
Yeah,
overtones.
definitely.
Like I'm surprised Ghibli hasn't found anyone to take over his helm. Like is it like a self-reflective thing? He's like thinks no one's as good, or is it like he doesn't want to hand over the reins or like, I don't
Yeah, it's
know.
a bit of both. I mean, he has said many times he hates anime, and like it's that fear of letting go. That's why we see in Grand Uncle, like he wants to pass on the torch to Maito, but he's also like things will never be as good as when I've got it, sort of thing. Like there's yeah, it's when you start looking at in that realm, it's pretty hard because I mean he stopped making films 10 years ago, and now he's come out with this to just sort of explain where he's at, and it's yeah,
So
it's very self reflective and pretty like tough.
what a way to like explain it to people by like here's a two and a
Yeah,
half here's a 2.5 hour film that you have to
only 2 hours.
delve into.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
Mark Hamill's also the old man.
he's the grand uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's great. I love Michael obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to watch the English version. And like I said, like at this stage, like I watched it and I got to admit, like I was, I was tired. I sort of fell asleep at the end. I had to rewind and rewatch a section. Um, I think I need to rewatch and sit with it more to actually get more out of it. Because at the moment, like I said, last night I sort of fell asleep. I wasn't super entertained, but it's already like I woke up thinking about it. And I
Well,
woke up like wanting to know more about what's happening. And
it's not a super entertaining film though. It's not like
yeah,
it's not grabbing you and being like you must sit and watch. It's like showing the adventure of like trying to let go and trying to pass on to the future. And there's it's just a subliminal message the entire way through.
yeah, I think that's a lot of Ghibli. Because even like My
Yeah.
Neighbor Totoro, I wouldn't say is like grabbing when you watch it.
Uh, you kind of like there's a bit of like mystery or elements to it, like the dust mites and Totoro's just rocking up, the cat bus, and you're like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah. There was that with this too. Like I felt like the
Mm.
heron, once you start seeing, the nose come out of its beak and you're like, well, what is happening? Why does it have teeth?
Yeah,
And then you start seeing eyes and you're like, oh, okay, what the fuck is this creature? I
that
didn't
was
really understand. Again, I haven't had enough time with it, but I didn't understand how when he got the arrow through the beak, he could no longer be a bird.
yeah. I think that's I thought that was something to do with like because you changed, you can't like be who you are, and then once you've removed it, you're becoming whole again or whatever.
Okay.
That's what I picked up on it. Like I haven't delved
Yeah.
into it that much.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that part because it is really a movie that you need to, like I said, think about and spend time with and reflect upon. I
Yeah.
think it would have come more natural to me if I was like knew more about Miyazaki and had more connection to the studio, but still fucking great.
I mean, looking at the reviews on like IMDb, they are polar opposites. It's either a masterpiece or it's like beautiful animation but no storyline. I think you
I
need
can see
to
that.
like it's just
Yeah.
you need
Look,
the
I don't
backstory and the
disagree.
history with it. Like it's if you don't have that, then you're like, what in the hell's
Yeah.
happening here?
I heard someone say this is an anime fan must watch, and I don't agree with that. Like
No.
this to me is on a level, actually now thinking about it, this would be on the same level as like Wes Anderson's Asteroid City. If you've never seen a Wes Anderson film, Asteroid City is garbage. There's no substance to it. It's
Mhm.
just things happen and then it ends. Same with this. If you've never seen a Miyazaki film and you've got no connection to the whole studio, like literally zero, less than me, and you watch this, it's just going to be a bunch of things happening and then it ends.
Mm.
So I can see the perspective of people who have that opinion, but yeah, like that's fair. But for those who are calling it a masterpiece, that's also fair because if you do have that, then it's fucking amazing.
Yeah. Like I'm a big anime fan, but like if I didn't know Studio Ghibli, I'd be like, what in the hell's happening here?
Yeah,
It's also wouldn't
definitely.
be my main anime like type that I'd watch anyway.
No, you're
Like,
more of a
more of an
what's
action
the action
shojin.
Shogun, not Shogun, Shogun anime. Yeah,
Yeah,
more your thing for sure.
but yeah, like
I don't mind the thinking animes. It just yeah, this was a lot.
yeah,
Like I
like
said, it's pretty dark.
like for me, I still had a really good time with it. Like
Yeah,
I'm glad I watched it, but it's like
definitely.
it's in the four. Like there was a little bit too much subliminal stuff for me. And I was like, I would have liked a little bit more direction. But other than that,
Hmm.
like it's good. Like I was entertained and captivated for the entire 2 hours. And it was
Yep.
just visually striking. Like it's so good. Visually,
Yeah.
music, voice acting was sick. Like I think
Yeah.
it's
I wish I had the English version so I could comment on the voice acting.
yeah, it's
Obviously, Japanese is good, but it's hard. I don't know. People always say that sub is better because the voice acting is better, but I struggle to notice good voice acting with Japanese voices
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. So
Yeah,
like
we're in the same realm. Like I think this is great. For me, it's not a masterpiece. It's not a five because I don't have the connection.
mhm,
But I also think it's really, really good.
yeah.
So yeah, it's obviously like around a four.
Yeah.
It's highly recommended for the right audience for
Yep.
sure.
Yep. Well, also
There's more to talk about, but
in that anime news, Akira Toriyama unfortunately passed away, the creator of Dragon
yeah,
Ball, and
yeah,
it's looking like his son's going to take up the helm. So
okay.
I'm wondering because I don't know if you're up to date with Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super because I'm
I'm not.
reading the manga. Well, remember the movie we watched? Gohan gets a new form, so he gets the beast form.
Yes.
Yeah. So he gets the beast form and then he gets to have a sparring match with Goku. And then Goku's like, the future's in good hands. And I'm like,
Oh, okay.
that's a chapter that came out before, unfortunately, he's passed away. I'm like, is that foreshadowing? Like, does he know?
Yeah,
Because I know he always originally wanted Gohan to take over, and that was meant to be the Cell Saga.
yeah, definitely.
And that's
Goku's
because
too much of a fan favorite.
yeah, and then he got backlash from the fans
Yeah.
with Gohan taking over,
Hmm.
and I was like, is this the moment where he's like, I'm not going to be here, so Gohan's going to take over, like subliminally, kind of like Studio Ghibli, The Boy and the Heron,
About to say, yeah,
someone taking over.
yeah.
Mm,
It's interesting. Whereas Miyazaki's like, no, no one's taking over because if this goes in the direction I don't want it to, you'll be rolling over my grave.
yeah, so
Which I understand. Like, imagine Ghibli was grabbed, like Star Wars, right? It was grabbed by just a big fucking studio. Imagine Disney by a Studio Ghibli, and then all of a sudden they're just pumping out these fucking movies where nothing's subtle, the characters are nothing new. It doesn't have the same vibe. You'd
yep,
be you'd be so upset because you spent your life building this.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, unfortunately, that's sometimes how the world goes. You got no
yeah.
control once it's done.
I'd rather let it die. I can totally see his perspective where I'd rather I'd rather let the studio die with me and have this amazing run of like the arguably the best anime movies ever made and stop. Just
Hmm,
just stop it there. There's no reason to make more. There's plenty of other things that exist. Yeah, I
yeah,
think that's a better way of looking at it from his perspective for sure. So I'm
yeah,
I'm glad to be honest.
fair. Yeah. Well, no, it's a little bit dark, but we will move on to the newest action comedy crime Netflix series by Guy Ritchie. It is The Gentleman.
The Gentleman.
Guy Ritchie is also always a little bit interesting with his takes on things, but this is The Gentleman, which is kind of loosely based off the film, but expanding on it.
Yeah, it's still the same basic plot. Rich guy
Yeah,
gets house. House is inhabited or is used by crime world, and he's trying to get out of it,
yeah.
but gets pulled deeper and deeper. That's what the movie's about, anyway.
Yep. So Eddie inherits the family estate. He discovers that it's home to a huge weed empire and its properties aren't going anywhere. So this took me by surprise. I was expecting this just to
Same.
be the same sort of like, whatever. Just kind of we watch 3 episodes, it's all right. We move on.
Yep.
I
Yep.
have now watched, I'm halfway through episode 7. There's 8 episodes, and
Literally same.
I was like, oh, I've this is the first time that I've been like super invested and super hooked on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
which
am so surprised how much I'm enjoying this. When you recommended it, we're both talking about watching it. I was like, okay.
mm,
It's trending, so it's probably worth watching. But I instantly watched more after
yeah,
finishing three.
it's crazy. So
Hmm.
we're introduced to the family. The family, a bit of a misfits. They've all got a little bit sort of their little quirks. Eddie's probably the most down to earth. He's in the military. He's in the equivalent. Can't remember how high up he is in the English military. Like I don't know
Yeah,
if it
pretty
was
high up because he's in charge of some job at the beginning.
like I wasn't sure if it was special forces or like if he was. wherever it was, but
I don't know.
he's got army training.
Yep.
He's come back because the father has died and they're doing the will, etc. And instead of the eldest son, who is Freddie, who Freddie is, for a better way to describe it, he's pretty much a dropkick. Like he's one of those
Yeah.
um privileged
Yeah.
rich kids who's just
Yep.
into
Coke.
partying, gambling,
He's
doing
a Coke
doing
fiend.
yeah, doing all those things. Eddie's more sort of down to earth, a bit more level headed. He ends up inheriting the house, and Freddie is not happy about it because
Hmm.
Freddie has a very big debt that he needs to pay off and was banking on using the inheritance to be able to pay it off.
Yep.
And that's
That's it.
where everything sort of kicks off, where it's Eddie trying to help Freddie get out of this debt. And the
Hmm.
way they go about it, we're introduced to Susie Glass, and Susie Glass is a very, very cool character. Like
She's great.
I really enjoy every scene she's in. Like she's
Yeah.
not the hands-on like badass, but she controls and manipulates
Hmm.
everything behind the scenes. And like you are watching her, and she's really likable, but you can see that
Yeah.
she is pulling strings that you're like,
Definitely.
yeah, I don't want to get mixed up in whatever you're doing.
Did you recognize her when you first saw her?
Actually, I got stuck on Eddie, so I was like, oh, I've seen this bloke, and then I
Yes, with poo
remembered
on his nose.
the in-betweeners. It took me a
Yeah.
little while to get out of that. I'm like,
Oh,
ah,
funny. As soon as I saw the thumbnail on Netflix before we even watched it, I'm like, oh, that's the guy with poo on his nose.
oh yeah. That didn't come across straight away, but
That's fair.
I was like, that's you. You're
Uh-huh.
the bully
Took
from
me a
In
little while to take him
Betweeners.
seriously because I've seen him between his movie so many times that I could only initially see him as that character. But it didn't take long for me to see him as Eddie because
Yeah.
he's a really good job in this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Kaya Scodelario is you've seen Skins, yeah?
mhm.
She's Effie in the second run.
Ah, that's
Yeah,
right.
she's great in that, and she's great in this. She, like you said, she has this like presence on screen because she's the daughter of this very, very famous like drug lord, more or less, in England at this point, anyway.
Yeah.
The Glass family. And like her everyone knows her. As soon as she says her name, everyone's like, well, they can't fuck with her. And she is so powerful. Like she is so fucking cool. Every scene she's in, I have so much fun.
Yeah.
She's great. She's doing a really good job.
Yeah. I did not pick her up from Skins. I mean, I watched
That's fair.
Skins a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, she was much younger then,
Well, yeah.
much younger, but she looks the same, but also very different.
I also
And
find
every
Skins real jarring when they swap casts. Like, it takes me a little while.
yeah, of course,
Yeah.
that's part of the charm though as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love
But like,
skins.
I got invested in the first cast, and then when it swapped, I don't
Yeah,
really
but
like this.
then
And
I
then
actually like the second cast more.
yeah,
And
yeah,
my partner's more into the third cast, which is where I like enjoy it the least.
okay,
I think I think it's a great thing in the show that they can introduce new characters and different people have different favorites. And anyway, we'll
true.
talk about skins. But yeah, that's her.
Yeah,
Daniel Ings, who plays Freddy, uh, he's in a bit, but I know him most recently from Sex Education.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, he's pretty funny in that. And Vinnie
So
Jones, who,
he's surprisingly playing the same character, but not playing the same character at the same time.
yeah, he's more subtle. He's not like everything else he's been in. He's like the enforcer, whereas this he doesn't come across that initially, but
He is.
by episode like 4 or 5, he pretty much is like he quickly
Yeah.
becomes that character again, just a bit more subtle, I think.
I feel like
He's great.
everybody in this is great though. Like there wasn't
Yeah,
one actor that I was like, "What are you doing?" Besides like
yeah.
Jimmy or Michael
Oh, I think
Voodoo.
he's great.
Yeah, but like his motives. I'm like, what are you doing, bro?
Oh, I know.
He's
This
playing
is just a stoner.
he's playing that stereotypical stoner bloke, but he does it well.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
But there's a reason it's
oh
a stereotype because it's fucking accurate.
yeah. It's like, oh God. I was like the whole time where he's about the banana milkshake, and he's like,
Yeah, I
oh,
know.
what are you
It's so
doing?
dumb.
What are you doing? Like,
Yeah, that's stoners though. Like growers, they know their shit about like the actual art of growing and they know so much about the weed, but nothing about anything else.
but every character in here is like you think you're going to hate them, but you end up like they do such a good job. Kind of like Ted
Hmm.
Lasso. Like if you've seen Ted Lasso,
Yeah, yeah,
the characters are what build the show. And this is what it is here,
definitely. Hmm.
where the only sort of complaint I have about the show is each episode, as you get a little bit further into it, it does run that sort of here's the problem, here's how we're solving it. It's how it
Yes.
kind of gets towards the end where but
Yes.
you get new introductions to things like you've got obviously the first part where Freddie has is in debt and they're trying to get him out of debt. He then becomes a massive catalyst of putting a lot of things into motion because he makes a very unwise decision with a gun and a chicken suit. Where
Yeah.
I'm trying not to spoil it because I think going into this,
It's yeah,
you need to watch it unfold.
definitely. It is very enjoyable as like just seeing all the chaos and to get to that, I love that Guy Ritchie has gone back to this because Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, my
So good.
favorite. They're fucking amazing. My favorite, almost favorite movies of the genre, but definitely my favorite movies from Guy Ritchie. And when we watched The Covenant, one of the things I said was I want him to go back to his roots and back to a place where he's making movies about criminals being dumb and sort of fumbling their way through shit and people trying to commit crime who aren't necessarily criminals. So they sort of just get sucked into the world and blah, blah, blah. And that is exactly what this is. Like, this is him sitting down and going, okay, what's worked for me in the past, making a dot, bullet point list, and then making an entire series with those bullet points.
Yeah.
Because this is what I wanted. This is the Guy Ritchie that I wanted. And I haven't seen The Gentleman, the original movie, but now I want to watch it. But I think the story lends itself so well to a series. But like you said, I think it did get a little tired. It became almost like a monster of the week sort of thing where every week a new challenge would be introduced and then we'd solve the problem and then the next episode would get a new one. Like by episode 6 or 7, I was enjoying it less than episodes 1, 2, and 3,
Yeah.
even episode 4, even. It started really strong and it got a little tired, but I'm still enjoying it enough. I'm going to finish it.
Yeah. Like it's still captivating, but yeah,
Mhm.
it does run that very generic formula. I'm hoping in episode 8 where everyone all comes back in because even when you get introduced to the priest gang, like the church gang, like
Yep.
they're real interesting. And I was like,
Yep.
I feel like they should be more invested because that bloke was like creepy as like it would have been
Yeah.
cool to see them dealing with them more. You've got the gypsies. The gypsies were pretty interesting,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then they just left, and you're like, oh, okay,
And
cool,
Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad and Kaleidoscope and a lot of stuff. He pretty much plays the same character as in Breaking Bad,
yeah,
sort of. Even to the point where he is in the meth business. But yeah, he doesn't have much to do in this. Whereas, like you said, I hope that by the end it all comes to a head. All these sort of like factions that we've got to know over time all come back, and shit gets messy.
yeah. Because even you got the church group, you've got the
Hmm.
gypsies, you've got
Hmm.
the fish, the guys that run the fish ring,
Yep.
and then now you've got another bloke
You
who's
got
trying to
Giancarlo.
the boxing promoter who's trying to get into it. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to wrap this all up in the last episode. Like I don't
Yeah.
know where that's going to go.
Is this a limited series? Are they doing a second season? Do we know?
I haven't heard. I did look up. Guy Ritchie's got
No.
two projects in post production. So you got the Ministry of Ungentle Manly Warfare and the Untitled Guy Ritchie project, which is
Okay.
2024 and 2025.
Sure. I don't want to look anything up because I my fear of looking up like will there be a season two is someone saying like obviously there's no season two because Eddie dies or something like that. I don't want to find out. If someone say anything like that. I'm not saying this will happen. I just don't know.
No,
So I haven't looked it up yet, and I don't want to look it up right now either.
no.
But yeah, you're not wrong. I do. Otherwise, because there's a lot of loose ends that need tying up, and if they're not, like if like you said, there's like six or five or six factions we've met. If none of them come back to sort of tie things together, then it does feel a little loose.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
don't know. The
So,
first few episodes, like if we're just reviewing the first three, fuck, it's fun. I was like yelling at my screen at Freddy, like you're such a fucking idiot.
oh,
Can't
Freddie.
believe the decisions you're making. You fucking
Every
coke fiend
time.
piece of shit.
Yeah. But then it, but then he becomes likable too.
Yeah, his
He's like, wow, all
uh-huh.
right.
And he like the thing that I think Guy Ritchie does well, and this is across like we mentioned Snatch and Lockstock as well. His characters come from a good place. Like none of them have ill intention. Like all his main characters anyway. Like even Vinnie Jones in Lockstock, like he doesn't have much, but his character is he loves his son. And a lot of things he does is about building a world for his son. Like his characters are, they heart of gold sort of stuff. Like even though they do dumb shit and they're violent and they're, whatever, 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 greedy, etc. They all come from a good place and they want good things for those and those around them and their family and whatever. I think that's like these factions as well, like the Scouse butcher guy or the religious mob, like they're a really close family. The Gypsies are a really close family. Obviously the Hornemans are like, Eddie and that really close family. Like he's good at making us like bad people. And
Yeah,
this is done so well in that way as well.
yeah. Like even Susie Glass, really
Yeah.
likable.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh, heavily.
yeah, even the brother, the boxing brother, you're like,
Jack. Yep.
yeah, yeah, just it's so good.
And their boxing ring being called Glass Knuckles
Yeah.
is so fucking good. I love that.
Yeah. I had a great time. Besides, the only downfall is that little uh tide repeating formula.
Correct.
Other than
Yeah.
that, I'm super excited to see how it wraps up. And I hope it's good. I hope it's good.
Yeah. Same because it started so strong.
Yeah.
It starts at like a 4.5. Like the first few episodes are just such a fun ride. But like you said, it just has to teeter off a little bit and
Yeah.
it needs to wrap up. It needs to wrap well. Like if it's gonna be a bell curve, that's fine. Start well, end well. But if it doesn't end well, then why have I watched it? So
Yeah. I'm gonna be
a
super disappointed.
tentative for me, it's a tentative four,
Okay.
apprehensive four. We'll
Okay.
see. It's don't know what's going to happen the next couple episodes. I think I'm actually partway through episode 6. I don't think I've
Oh,
reached 7 yet.
wow. I'm ahead of you.
I've
Crazy.
also watched 4 episodes of the Physical 100 season 2.
Oh, okay.
So I've
Yeah.
been smashing that.
Dubbed or
So
subbed.
I go back and forth. If I'm
Okay.
watching, I'll watch it in sub. But like last night, I was falling asleep watching it, and I put it in dub because it's no reading.
Is it the same three actors?
Yeah, it feels that way still.
Yeah, it does. So
But oh
good.
well. A show like that is more about the physicality than the actual voices. So who
Yeah.
cares?
Yeah. It's just so funny, like that when you're watching them, they're all like talking about the same athlete, and it's like the same person doing a
Yeah,
slight variant on their
yeah,
delivery.
yeah. Speaking a little slower, a little higher pitched.
It's so funny. But yeah, for
Yeah,
me, so far uh, I feel like it's a little bit more than a four because like me to
yeah.
actually like watch that many as I have, I think it's like a 4.5.
Okay, I
Yeah.
can understand that.
Yeah. Because it's rare. It's rare. Even like Shogun and stuff, like I haven't felt the urge to go back to it. But like this, I was like,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Oh, I look forward to Shogun every single week.
yeah.
On like
But
Tuesdays, I get home from work and my missus already knows, don't talk to me.
that's just you in
Watching
general
Shogun.
when you get home.
Love Shogun, man. That shit's so good.
Okay. Well, yeah, I
Yeah, so
was
I put Lock, Stock, and Snatch at like a 4.5.
okay.
And I don't think this is as good. It's good, but it's not as good. So I wouldn't put this at a me
Yeah.
personally at a
Okay.
4.5.
I don't know. I've been captivated by it. And now I'm
Good. I'm
seeing
glad.
like Susie Glass. I'm like, where are you going to go? How are you going to manipulate this?
Yeah, especially when she's sort of becoming the bad guy a little bit now.
Yeah. And
No, no spoilers, but
like seeing Eddie being drawn into making all these, like getting his hands dirty as well. It's like, how
mhm.
far in are you going to go, mate? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
you've murdered a few people here.
oh, for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Yep,
4.5.
yep.
I'll tell you next week after I watch episode 8 if it stays
That's
there
a
or not.
great idea. Yep,
Yep.
let's do like a quick recap next week.
Yeah.
So I'll probably finish it by then as well.
Yep. And then
Nice.
let's get into the next one.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
two fours to potentially our worst review of the year.
Because we were messaging during the week about this.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
it is difficult to say if this is. Anyway, we'll get
Mm.
there.
So this is Irish Wish, which is Lindsay Lohan's newest one. Also,
Uh-huh.
Janine Damien's
Yep.
newest outing, which is famous for the Christmas Lindsay Lohan
Yep. This is
whatever.
her sophomore film. She's made two movies. First one was Falling for Christmas, which has a
Yeah.
5.2 on IMDb, and the second was Irish Wish, which has a 5.2 on IMDb.
Which you hated the first one. You hated the Christmas Wish one.
Oh, it's fucking garbage. Did you not hate it?
I don't think I hated it as much as you. Like
I
I
need to go
sat there
find
and
it.
was like, I was like, it was all right. Like it didn't get a
You gave it a
three.
one. I gave it a minus zero point 0.5.
Yeah, yeah. I thought you
I
hated
called it the worst thing I've ever watched.
it. Yeah. But this is a comedy, fantasy, romance. What a way to throw it all together. So, when the love
Sure
of
it is.
Maddie's life gets engaged to her best friend, she puts her feelings aside to be a bridesmaid at their wedding in Ireland.
Yep.
so, so Maddie, who is played by Lindsay Lohan, is a book editor. She works for what was his name? The
Paul.
Paul. Paul's a famous writer. He writes all these
He's
things.
meant to be like a J.K. Rowling this one. He's the most successful writer in the UK in
Mm,
this universe.
mm. So he writes these stories. She's the editor. She pretty much wrote the last story for him. She's in love
Yep.
with him. He doesn't really give her a light of day, just wants to keep her on because she's pretty much doing the work for him.
Yep.
Um, all of a sudden, she gets this advice to express her feelings. And as she tries to express her feelings at a night out, he meets her friend, which I think her name is Emma.
Elizabeth. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Emma Taylor, but the actor's name is Elizabeth Tarn or Tan.
yeah. So
Yep.
he meets her, they have chemistry. All of a sudden, her dreams of expressing her feelings have to be put aside because they fall in love, are getting married, and she's going to be the bridesmaid, which
Yep.
surprisingly, the wedding is in Ireland, where you
Uh-huh.
wouldn't get your Irish wish if it wasn't in Ireland.
If it wasn't an island.
So they have to travel. They have to travel, right? They're
Didn't
traveling.
sound fucking Irish at all. Like I have an Irish guy I work with, and I have to like concentrate to listen to him sometimes. This guy did not sound Irish at all.
Well, yeah. So they go, she loses her luggage. They magically, somehow, very conveniently have the same bag. They grab the same
I
bag. It's
know.
like, this is my bag. And then
Uh-huh.
all of a sudden, from there, you're like, oh, this is the way they meet and fall in love. And they keep
Yep.
bumping into each other. And it turns out it's not her bag, but James is employed to take photos of this wedding. And then
Yep.
it's a number of well, it's really quickly done. Like it moves at a very bizarre pace. Like the
It's
pace,
it's quick. Yeah.
the pacing's so
Yeah.
bizarre. So they've moved, they've met, all of a sudden they're doing activities, and then she doesn't want to be the third wheel for any of the two couples because her friend Heather, who's just there, like I don't even know why she's
I don't know why
there.
she's in the fucking movie at all. Ayesha, that's Steph Curry's wife.
Oh,
Uh, she has no purpose in the film. I don't know why she exists.
she's there.
She's
And
just another
then
friend.
Maddie or Lindsay Lohan goes for a walk, sits on this chair, and then all of a sudden this lady appears, appears out of
Yeah. She's
nowhere.
like, I wish it was me getting married to Paul. And then this fucking random woman rocks up. She's like, oh, hello, you said wish. That's the magic word. You're on the wishing chair. How many fucking movies has Lindsay Lohan done now with like some supernatural element, like Freaky Friday and this and Just My Luck?
Oh,
And like
that woman was the best part of this film. Just her
just
appearing.
fucking bizarre.
She has there's no reason for her to even appear.
No, she didn't need to be in the movie. And
Yeah.
like, not to cut to the end too quickly, but when she's like reincorporated later and they bring and like the fucking James, he was meant to be going overseas to film some bird or some bullshit. And he's like, oh, a strange woman told me that I should stay. So I didn't go on my trip. Like some, especially her, she's a fucking weird ass woman. If she comes along at you in an airport and is like, you should stay in an island a little longer. You know, it'd be worth it. Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Like,
just like them falling in love was so quick. That old mate was
yeah,
like,
oh,
just
it's
like,
like
ah,
Disney
no
level, like
worries.
Frozen,
It's,
and how much like, oh, there's a scene because the whole movie sets up that Maddie and Paul are meant to be together, and then Paul ends up getting with Emma instead, her friend. So they're all there together, lovey dovey, things are looking great. They get married. Maddie is a maid of honor or bridesmaid or whatever. So then she wishes that she was married, as we've already been through, and I'm recapping here. But once she's with Paul, they are a horrible couple.
yep.
But Paul, not only they're a bad couple, Paul comes across as an absolute fucking asshole. And when they're trying to set up that, oh, as much as you wish it was you and him, Paul and Emma are actually the perfect couple when you're actually into it with James. So there's a scene where her and James are hanging out and like she talks about her favorite writer and she talks, they go dancing and, she reveals a bit about herself. And then at like a dinner party or whatever, they're playing the wedding game, not the wedding game, but like a wedding game where they ask, drinking game more or less, they ask fucking Paul a bunch of questions about Lindsay Lohan's character. And if you get them right, you got to drink, blah, blah, blah. And it just happens to be that the fucking three questions that they ask him are three questions that James knows about her. And James knows her favorite author. And James knows that she can dance and all this bullshit. And it's so fucking convenient. This was written at in a fucking afternoon with a fucking glass of whiskey. There is no way that what's her fucking name again? Fucking, I'm gonna call her out. Janine Damien. Oh wait, she didn't write it. Kirsten Hansen wrote it. Who the fuck's Kirsten Hansen? Let's see all the bullshit she's written. Christmas on My Mind. Cross Country Christmas. Oh my god. Oh my god.
She's writes
Return to
Hallmark,
Christmas Creek. Yo, this
Russell
is
Madness,
disgusting.
Monkey Up, Pup Star, Love on the Slopes, Return to Christmas
Fuck
Creek,
me.
Love Under the Rainbow.
I need to be a fucking writer. I need to be a writer. This woman is making money from shit like this. You dumb bitch. I fucking hate you. I don't even know you. I hate you. It's insane
Whoa.
that movies like this exist. That someone, again, this is like I said in my last review of Falling for Christmas, it is offensive that this exists. This is the same with this movie. People are giving money to fucking idiots who have no idea how to make movies, what they're doing. They make shit like this, they chuck it on Netflix, and people go, oh, yeah, that's good enough. It's fucking garbage.
Look, I actually preferred the other film over this one. Like,
I don't know. It's I
no,
don't know which one was worse. I need to watch them back to back.
nah,
This
this
is
one was
bad.
way worse. to the point where I was like, man, I really want to turn this off. Like, at least the other one had a little bit of a giggle here and there, and
Falling for Christmas was so bad it's good. This is just bad and offensive.
it made no sense. Like, how do they fall in love so quickly?
I know.
There was there wasn't
Because
even
movie,
yeah, but there was no chemistry either.
literally. It just felt like everyone was reading their lines. Lindsay Lohan actually shone through as a good actor in this because everybody else is horrible. And that's saying a lot because she has gone downhill
Yeah.
acting wise.
So
Oh my
bizarre.
God. I can't believe that the girl I grew up with watching Freaky Friday and Just My Luck and Parent Trap and Mean Girls and all those movies I really, really liked. She went on a drug binge and then she came back to movies and this is what she's fucking making now. Like, Lindsay, what are you doing?
Yeah. I don't know. It was awful. 'Cause I remember you messaged me and I was like, I'm halfway through Irish Wish. And you're like, I haven't watched it yet. And I'm like, enjoy.
Yeah, no shit. I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Uh, I can't. Some of the lines, I should have written some down. Some of the lines were like phenomenal that they thought it was good writing. I don't. If someone wrote this and thought it was good, or they wrote it and they're like, yeah, it's good enough. It,
How
it'll 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 get greenlit.
how was the when they're at the like they're still in the time whatever parody thing or different timeline, and then they're in the wedding hall, and then you see the stained glass window change. I was like,
Oh, I
oh my
know. Oh, and it like
god.
looks at her and winks. The stained glass window.
Yeah,
It looked like a fucking early 2000s low budget animated movie.
yeah. So,
Yeah, I thought about that. My God, the fight at the end between Paul and James at the wedding,
oh,
so fucking cringy. You can tell neither of them have it. They've been in a fight, but also had no like stunt choreography training or anything.
I was just like, you
They
two
just
need
said,
to
"All right,
fight.
yeah, literally, point a camera, say, okay, you two need to get into a fight," and they went, "All right," and just started quote unquote fighting.
Oh, it's so
Or in
dumb.
my notes, like you have known her a fucking day. Like
Yeah,
the way that the way that they force us to think that James and Maddie are connected after knowing each other for a day, and how he's like, you should be marrying him. You don't know her. You don't. Maybe they're having a bad time. Maybe their like relationships go up and down. Maybe they're just in one of their downs. You don't fucking know her. You can't just come along and start saying that you should be with me, not with her. You've known her fucking 24 hours.
yep.
Uh, but only slightly worse than anyone but you. So
Whoa, no, anyone but you was good. It was good, bro.
I only wrote that because I wanted to hear you respond.
Yeah,
Literally, the opening of the movie is the definition of like they put a dictionary definition up. It's like, come on, like that's such a meme at this point for like speeches starting with the dictionary definition of graduation is da da da. Like that said this
yeah.
did. My God, the music as well. How like there's like this goofy burp, 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 burp music in the background, like a Disney TV show, you know, like all the goofy sounds in the back and all the little sound cues when characters fall and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I can't believe how bad this was.
This was a hard watch. Like I
Very
thought it, I
tough.
thought it was going to be bad, but I thought it was going to be like so bad it's good. This was just bad. Like
Literally, it's also literally word for word what I wrote for my letterbox review. Not even so bad it's good, just very, very bad.
it's like
It is awful.
they wanted it to be good. I think that's the main thing. They were like, let's take this super seriously because it's going to be real good. We got a
It's
great idea.
surprising, but that's what I don't get. Like, either people really think and believe in this project and think, yeah, this is the next fucking rom com. People are gonna love this. This is the next Anyone About You because that did pretty well.
It did really well.
But then, like, I don't know, either that or they just like make it quick. All right, we've got 20 days to shoot. Everyone get in. All right, Lindsay, great job. Move on. All right, James, you're up. Okay, say your lines. That'll do. Fucking next. Like, I really don't know which end of the spectrum it is. Either really believe in the project and they tried and did horribly, or they just did not give a shit.
I think they tried. I honestly think they tried.
So it's a lack of talent, which is worse.
Yeah. Who
It is
knows?
awful.
What would you
It
give
is
it
awful. I don't fucking know. A zero.
then? Is it worse than the other one?
I don't know. I need to watch Falling for Christmas again. Because like I hate Christmas, so I think I dislike Falling for Christmas more.
Okay.
I remember laughing more at Falling for Christmas, whereas this did make me laugh once,
No.
even at or with, you know what I mean?
Mm.
I don't know. I'm gonna give it a zero. Fuck it.
Yeah. Mine's like half a star. It's worse than the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worse than the other one.
Yeah.
What did you give the other one? I forget. Let's have a look.
One. You said before.
One.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yep. This is worse. This is
Yeah, this is awful.
I was let's get this over with.
I don't know if it's worse. I'm putting it on the same level. I gave the other
Okay.
one a negative 0.5. This I'm gonna, it's the same sort of thing. I don't know. It's awful. It doesn't
Okay.
deserve a rating at all.
Okay. Okay.
All right. What's next week, bro?
Next week we've got a lineup, but it may change. So we've got six things. So we
Yep.
got Love Bleeding, three
Hell yeah.
body problems. Three body problems will be on there. We've got
Definitely.
Roadhouse, which is the new McGregor and Jake Gyllenhaal film on Amazon
Yep.
Prime,
Yep.
which is the remake of the original. And then we've got Ghostbusters, the new one. I can't remember. It's like some winter thing.
Yeah. Frozen Empire, I think.
Yeah, that's the one. Look at you, Ghostbuster nerd.
Yeah, I'm killing it.
Wicked Little Letters, which looks like a really fun 1920 timepiece with some comedy aspects. It's a British comedy. And then we've
Hmm.
got Sydney Sweeney's new one, Into the Horrorverse, which is immaculate. Bop, bop,
Yep.
bop. So we'll
So
have a mix up of whatever those ones. So that's pretty much
yeah.
our next 2 weeks. So stay tuned. And if you're listening on Spotify, hit that 5-star rating and then share it, put it on socials, tag us in there, tag Reimanntv, and then
Tell
I'll
your
share it.
friends,
And then tell your friends if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
please.
And yeah, tell your friends. We'll see you guys next time.
You
Boys.
love yous.